If you're a beginner thinking about running a half marathon, this video is for you. I just ran one as a beginner, not perfectly and not fast, but I finished. I keep getting feelings of wanting to stop and slow down, not feeling good. And I want to walk you through exactly what I did. This isn't one of those elite runner guides. It's messy and it's realistic. So let's get into it. The hardest thing with running a half marathon is the training that comes before the half marathon. I started running 12-ish weeks ago, and since then, I've been the most consistent I've ever been with running. Although it's not much, it included running 2 to 3 times a week, and sometimes I'd only run once. If you look online, the typical recommendation is to run 5 days a week for 12 weeks. That's a lot. And guess what? I haven't been doing that. And with such a long hiatus, trying to beat my previous time when, I ran pretty consistently, I'm a bit nervous. Me personally did not think I needed to do all of that. And I only ran 3 times a week and only got more consistent on the last 6 weeks. So I wouldn't freak out too much about the training regimen too much, except that you have to prep yourself on the long runs. That is very important if you want to get an okay time. So I worked all the way down from 5 miles all the way up to 13 miles before the half marathon. And I think that's what made the biggest difference for me. What should you do leading up to the half marathon? Food, exercise, rest. 5 days before the marathon, I did a 2-mile run and I pushed kind of hard. Mile 1 got 7:45, and mile 2 I got an 8:45. I know I said just gonna do a light run. I probably accidentally pushed close to maximal effort. 2 days out before race day, I did more of an easier run, or should have. I did a gallery run, which is where you just run, then walk so you don't overdo your muscles. But ultimately, I wanted to do a few sprints because that's what I felt like I wanted to do. I just did what made me happy and what I thought was fun before the half marathon without overworking myself. That was the goal. We are now at the night before the race. Food is very important when you're doing endurance running. I ran track a little bit when I was in high school, and I never knew what I should be eating before the run. My parents weren't into athletics, and I just didn't know. So I asked my track coach, and he basically said, eat a ton of spaghetti. And I was a terribly slow runner in track. However, I still tried to eat all the spaghetti I could. I don't think it made a big difference. But now I understand why you should do that. So why is that important? So the goal is to carb load before a long run. So you have all this saved up energy that you can use up. So I ate chicken Alfredo with noodles the night before. Now let's talk gear, the stuff that helped me run the 13.1 miles. This is my second half marathon. The one before this one was 2 years previously, and between now and then, I didn't run much of any at all. So my goal was to simply beat that past time. So with that, I got a bit more competitive with the gear that I had. This is what I'm wearing tomorrow. So I have my running shorts and my shirt and my shoes, obviously. Vaporflies, they're race day shoes, my hat too, I like wearing a hat, running socks, anti-wicking socks, a shirt that's not gonna shape too much when it gets wet. I'd rather control what I'm drinking and intaking into my body. I know exactly what I'm gonna be putting in it because I'm putting in these Gatorades in there. It has potassium, sodium, and magnesium. I have these goos. I don't know if I'm gonna use them all. I do wanna be having them just in case. I'll be bringing all 3 of them. They have caffeine and amino acid and as well as sodium. The Vaporflies, the anti-wicking socks, and a hydration pack really made a big difference for me because I know what I'm intaking from the hydration pack, and the Vaporflies made me feel much lighter while I'm running all these miles. Good morning. So it's time for the race, or at least it's race day. And honestly, I'm a bit nervous. I've been stressing out way too much and everybody's telling me to calm down, and I'm like, I'm calm. If I'm not calm, it is race day. And I'm gonna tell you, doing the half marathon was not easy. My main goal was to beat my previous time, which was 10 minutes and 23 seconds per mile. Now, there will be pain while running. That's all part of the game, but you gotta figure out at what pace can you handle the pain for a very long time. So you don't wanna outpace yourself at the beginning just to slow down in the middle and walk throughout the rest of the race. If you're a slower runner, run slow. That's what I did. Yeah, my right foot hurting even more, right hip tearing apart a little bit. So my foot hurt, my hip hurt, and I really wanted to walk, but I kept reminding myself I just have to keep moving. It's been over 4 years since I ran my last half marathon. I knew just walking for 1 minute would be a drastic hit to my overall time, but succeed or fail, this journey isn't over. Being healthy isn't about beating records. It's the fact that you get out there and challenge yourself. I'll say by mile 11, it was extremely hard, but I found someone who I've been kind of chasing throughout the entire race, and he started to walk. So as I'm slowly passing him, I said, "You got this," and he started to run with me. And at that moment, that encouragement really pushed me to the finish line, because he was right there with me throughout the rest of the race. I think I did pretty good. I'm not sure. I guess I'll find out. And crossing the finish line, I ended up beating my previous time within 9:53 per mile, which is 2 hours and 9 minutes. And the coolest part is that I didn't walk at all, and that was my second main goal. So if you're thinking about running a half marathon, here's my advice. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to prep a little bit and actually do it. It's not gonna be easy, and the more prep that you do, the easier it will be. But you don't have to do the 5 days a week to hit that goal. If you wanna follow along in my athletic journey, hit that subscribe button. And if you're training for your first race, let me know down below and let me know how it goes. I'll see you next time.